Hey guys, I'm here with a new video. This time we take a quick look at a DP build, which is a lot cheaper to make than an invasion build and still quite efficient. Will you be immortal? No, but you won't get deleted outright with sub 700 or 700 evasion. So as you guessed it, in this build we will be piling on DP. So what makes this build better than an invasion build? It's a lot cheaper than getting an actual working evasion setup, as the main plan here is to still deal damage to evasion based and other regular builds. And while it's not as efficient or not as immortal as a proper working evasion build, because you'll just be tankier and not invulnerable, you won't get one shot by some random guy who stacked accuracy on the field. So what do we need for this build? Well, in general you'll be exchanging AP for DP. But in this case, you will be either using Kurum for the DP, or the accuracy offhand for your class that still has a serious amount of DP with it. You can use either boss gear or green gear for this, and your secondary goal will be to stack as much HP as possible. The goal here is to get 347 DP, with everything else going into AP. The reasoning behind this build is that evasion builds are really expensive, as you need 700 evasion at minimum to make them work somewhat. But any guy running Jin Viper crystals with Bex and the accuracy offhand is going to delete you without much issues. It's gonna be like this. Here you are tanking 5 people for 10 minutes, they can't damage you, and all of a sudden, swoop, you're dead. That was a guy with the accuracy offhand or a 100% hitting skill applied to you. So yeah, it's not fun, especially if it's a really expensive build. With a DP build, chances are you'll still die, but didn't cost 10 billion silver or 20 billion silver even, and you're dealing serious damage to 700 evasion builds with your extra accuracy. This build is mainly for classes who don't have an innate 10% evasion passive and a lot of well, you need a little bit of super armors as well, so you can get away with a lot of stuff. Run some RBF crystals to make up for your lack in AP. I would advise to try to stay above 200 AP at all times, with the maybe highs hitting 235 while maintaining close to 347 DP, since you get a bonus of 20% damage reduction, which is quite a lot actually. For this build you can substitute the Centaur belt with an ancient core belt, good AP and DP, accuracy offhand, still a Cecil's, or you can combo the belt with an ancient guardian seal neck, but the AP on the Cecil's is really valuable while giving you good DP. However, the seal is cheap and gives 20 extra accuracy. Then for rings you can now go with the new forest Ronaros rings, I think they're called. They have good AP with some extra DP, and maybe with a pair of Narc earrings which also have AP and DP. Unless of course you want to run a cheap build, and you can just get the new Kamasilvi quest earrings that are pretty much the same as Tri Witch earrings. I'll post how the build will look in a second. If it's on the cheap, both are really tanky and you won't get deleted out of the blue as if you were running pure evasion at a fraction of the cost. If you got boss gear, even better. With that boss gear your build will look a lot like this. I'll go over how evasion works in the next video in this series, as yeah, the next video next week will be purely evasion, and then we'll have one about hybrid evasion. I know the first picture doesn't look all that tanky, but trust me, it's a lot tankier than if you were running 280 DP, and it is really not costly, and it works at every gear score, of course, against same level gear score people. If you run a full DP build with tri gear and you run into a 560 gear score player, chances are he is going to delete you no matter what build you were running. But if you are trying an evasion build with 600 or 650 evasion, or even 700, now that we are merged with Xbox, it's gonna be a painful awakening, I think. So yeah, as for crystals, get as much HP as possible, or if it's purely an RBF build, as much red crystals as you can. This build makes you as tanky as possible, while still allowing you to maximize all your available AP through extra accuracy, allowing you to kill a lot of players, especially those running 700 to 800 evasion builds. And an 800 evasion build is quite expensive. So yeah. Well, where was I? With the boss gear version of it? Yeah. Without Jins, you have roughly 390 accuracy, while the cheap build still has 360 accuracy, all without gems. So unless the guy has 800 plus evasion, he's gonna be in some pain. And even then, on the boss gear version, switch to Jin Vipers and accuracy crystals in your main weapon, and you will easily hit 450 accuracy, which yeah, that's gonna be a very expensive evasion build to actually be able to counter this. Mainly, evasion builds are going to have a bad time against you, while normally geared AP players will think you're a brick or an evasion player. So if they do have an accuracy offhand and switch to it, they will end up losing potential damage output because they were already hitting you for the most part, and adding that one extra hit in their attacks is just not gonna do anything. So yeah, and the great thing about this build is you can switch to a Kudum and still grind at any solo spot currently in the game other than Agman or Hysteria, and when somebody jumps you, you just switch offhand and you are good to go. Not that they're going to delete you if you're using Kudum, because it's only a 12 or 15 DP difference. So yeah, definitely a great build to run if you don't have the money for an actual working evasion build. Next time in this series we talk evasion, like I said. I don't know.